the mother as a female energy. And so every day the Father Son kisses the Mother Earth and springs forth life. And so that's always been a part of the storytelling and a part of the teachings that have a way with how we can be with the earth. We've based Honor Day on the circle because everyone is equal. And the circle has a power when you walk around that circle. It really does create what's called the center of the universe for you. A true powerful person is measured by the most delicate things that they take care of. How humanity takes care of the most fragile in life is a true measure of their strength and power. I'm a North American Native heritage, and my birthplace was in Alberta, Canada. I was born in 1944. And at that time, we were the only minority group in Canada, is that we were expected to assimilate into the white culture and leave the primitive ways behind. We were to abandon our origins and our people in order to be successful. The one thing that probably caused me some of my deep rage was that there was this sense when I was little that Indian was something you could get over. It's almost like that you were some kind of criminal, but you could be rehabilitated. Their names were changed. You could no longer have your native name. Then you had a Christian name, and you were dunked and baptized, and you become something else. And the boarding schools were, from what I clearly saw, is that it was just the physical world that you learned about. And then the creation stories of these newcomers, that was the only valid one. So our creation stories and the unseen forces that the natives knew was demonized. Once they were all cleaned up and Euroized or whatever it was, and they were sent back to their people. So their people were like, that was the very thing that was destroying their lifestyles, and now their children were coming back with all of this training. So the children didn't belong and the parents didn't feel connected. You have devastation. Created a real rage in me. And so I had to get over that inner rage myself. But it was so clear a way of life that we had that I'd find myself doing what we'd always done, which was if you see somebody, you see an elder in trouble, you help. We were always trying to look for something that we could be useful for, to be useful hands of the Creator. And so my kids grew up with that way of life. And probably my most successful feeling today is when I see my son and my daughter and they'll call me up and say something, and it's exactly what Grandma would have smiled on. Well, one of my heroes, of course, was Thomas Benyakya. He was a revered elder of the Hopi. And I spent every summer in the 60s, whenever he'd come up, I'd go out to Janet McLeod, another one of my esteemed elders, and listened and learned and did ceremony with them. And the other elder that is one of my heroes was Chief Dan George. And I would listen to him, and he'd talk, he'd explain things, and it was inspiring because it fit my heart. I can remember them talking directly about how when the newcomers came, they didn't see the forest as a whole living being. They saw it as money. When they saw the river, they didn't see it as a living system of the Mother Earth's blood. They saw the beaver and the muskrat. And they didn't care about all of the interrelated things, and they didn't honor the animals, and they didn't honor the land. And then when the treaties were written, they were not honorable. There was no honor there. I knew that there was a lot of pain there, but I also learned that the door to your spirit is through your deepest pain. And I actually had a breakthrough. I realized that the pain came from the past. And I realized that when you have a vision, you don't have to bring the suffering with it. And so I started getting with like-minded people who were seeing how we could make a world we love to live in as a gift to our children. And so from that prophecy that I was told that one day there would be a generation who saw the earth suffering, and especially when they saw their children suffering, they would return to the honor way. And that's something I thought, I can do that. I can return to that way, and I can live my life with freedom and expression, and I can find all the honor way people, and it changed my life. Eventually, the idea of Honor Day as a recognized holiday came into focus. Honor Day preserves the Native American Indian value of honor, inviting all people, faiths, cultures, and traditions to share the honor way. And so I followed my dream. Native tradition taught me that a dream is transformed into physical reality by speaking it into the hearts of others at a large gathering. The first Honor Day was held on the Lummi Indian Nation in the year 2000 on August 20th. That date was chosen because it is the birthday of Miracle, the sacred white buffalo. When we honor the spirit of place, of Mother Earth, and each other, then we can use the skills, gifts, and talents of humanity in a good way to solve the many tasks needed to give our children a safe future that they will love to live. Transforming the world by invitation through the honor way. So when I was quite young, I became aware that there was two distinctive aspects of life. There was a physical world that we see, and there was the creative power of the unseen forces that I saw with my people. I saw that this native awareness of these unseen forces could be lost through assimilation. I did not want to lose that native tradition, but to find out how I could do all that I could to preserve this natural way. My whole journey is through the oral tradition, and my journey was to get the stories from my painting so I could paint. I felt like what I lacked in talent, I was going to make up for in authenticity. That was my plan. So the hoops of Honor Day come out at 45